People are they was he prepare to the Manuela, what can you hear me? I come back to the ground. Why you? The president, what did you do? People and they was he el professeur, un nouveau femme. Présidence des mensonges, des dormis. Manager, aussi au delà. La conseillère, le CP Conseil, le Cambio, c'est Bertin, Jean Robert, le Santuawa, notre Robert, Di Pimpina, la travers de Pékin, mon fils. Aussi mélodie, mon Dieu. I'll do it. I'll do it. Les hommes privés, les hommes privés, le parrain, je voulais dire que dans nos pays, tu vas pas oublier que président Dieu, ça passe au moment de l'État. Il est là, je peux, on lui dit que tu vas pas. Il est là, je peux, même le monsieur, on a ensemble, on est là. Comment ça veut dire? Il faut aussi pas, on lui dit là. Là, tu dis, il est seigneur, on lui dit, Rico, Rico. How do you grow? How do you grow? That's more to get.
Good evening. I want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. I'm Alfonso Zayenso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. To all of the analysts, the link is out there. I throw it right in the group chat and check your email as well. Good to be back here after the so-called Bo with his collaborator threatened to remove me, and I say, okay, I sent him my resignation and on it for he to start backing. So we are back here. He who tries to fire now end up being fired. So good to be here. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here. This is the Liberia Public Radio. I'm Alfonso Zayenso. Very shortly, the analysts will be here, and we will get back to baseline. Dr. Malice Jones, Sister Goya, and the rest of the folks. We say good evening and all our viewer listeners. Victoria to Weddy Tapper, good to have you here. Say John Jacobs, Mr. Bossy, Matthew, good to have you here. You, Jade, and of course, our own sister is in the house. Sister Rita is here. To Melvin Missing is also in the house. We say good evening. Just hit the share button and invite someone at your company. We are here to discuss issues of wide range of issues. A lot is unfolding. I kind of turn my eye from what is happening in Liberia last few days. It was not on purpose. You see like that something is the cause. But notwithstanding, we're going to give it a full conversation here this evening, all things considered. And of course, you yourself will form part of the conversation as well. That's what we do here. We discuss news, information, and entertainment is the most least on this network. But we say good evening and welcome to the show. Going to do a little bit of housekeeping here, and very shortly it will surface so that we can get this conversation going as well. Just bear with me. In the meantime, let's take this quick break here. What I try to adjust myself here. Welcome to the show.
Hello everyone, my name is Foye, aka Diamond. I want to share a little bit about someone incredibly special to me, my mother, Rose Johnson. My mother is the heart and soul of our family. Her love and strength and unwavering support has shaped my siblings and I into the women we are today. She has taught us the value of kindness, resilience, and compassion. On October 26th, we will be gathering and honoring and celebrating our mother's incredible journey and all the lives she has touched. We would be delighted if you can join us on this special occasion, which will be hosted at the Botany Club in Cranston, Rhode Island. Your presence means the world to us. Bye-bye, love you.
Good evening. That is AKA Diamond Poye right there with that. It's going to be a what we call a candidate. She will be honoring, and that's one of the things that I realize I support. Give recognitions when it is due. Give them flyer. Let the people eat their own cow. Let them eat their own goat. Let them drink their own goat soup. We shouldn't wait until the train derail and then we come with these species, endless species, no nothing, when the person doesn't even know what is going on. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. We say thank you for being here. I'm Afonso Z. And so if this is the first time joining this network, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is a Diaspora Informative News magazine. We have a taboo here, and that is we don't say it your way, how you want it to be said. No, we don't do too much of entertainment. We discuss it, fair, balanced, proportionate. We open our ears to all sides of the aisle, be it seditions, the weashins, the boashins, the Brom guy, the other guy from Atlanta to Georgia, and all of the parties with our headquarters in Liberia, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as you are ready to have a civil conversation. We always in the business to have these sort of conversation. And that's the uniqueness we feel of our part. So more or less, we focus, we dwell on quality, not quantity, the substance of the conversations and how the mutual respect, even when we disagree with you, you as a caller, we give you the opportunity to express, to speak your mind, because it's about your country. It's not about me. It's not about the liberal progressive. It's not about Sese Goyo or Jerry Boashing Tobacco. No. Now, even Dr. Malice Jones, we open our ears. We like to get your side of the story, how you understand the directions of your country, not with emotions, not with sentiment, and not because you put on your political garment. So we hold all accountable, including our very selves, the analysts, and even the callers. So you're not just going to call here and you think you're going to march onto Zion. No, that's not going to happen. If you call and you say some ridiculous thing, we will hold you. It's your own own responsibility. You will account for what you say. We are here to facilitate these high core conversations, which of course we are not of doing. We say good evening. Thank you so much for joining us the last few days and I've been on. It's because of the liberal wing of this network, led by Samson Toh and his ally, the likes of Jerry Bacon Boashing. My understanding, Sister Goyo was part of that ploy. And you will agree with me, oftentimes here on this network, the liberal who is the board chairman seems not to know the responsibility of being a board chairman. Every other meeting, we'll call meeting. Sissy will send a reminder, we will order him. You think the people back there who were afraid of audit? No. So this guy, every other day, when I try to speak my mind, my will, my honest mind, and Clarence Davis and the other folks that support this liberal. So what I did this week was to deliberately, without telling the groups, to send a letter of resignation. I am going, and they have Independent Council of Patriot, Independent CDC, his own party, Liberty Party. You have the Ability wing, the Nyomli Kanga wing. So we'll be having the Independent Liberal Public Radio. Dr. Malik Jones and myself, the CC, the CC Goya, Jerry Bacon Boashing, they will go their way with the Liberal. Let's see how far they can go. I send a letter. So he who wanted to fire, or he who fires, end up begging. So I told him no. The only way I accept, you got to pay him. He will do it the Liberian way. So right now we are negotiating, hopefully. And when you send it, I will take it because you don't refuse it. Thank you so much for being here this evening. Again, it's good to be back here. Too much is ongoing in the country. Hopefully, the analysts, the link is all out there. And I'll be keeping eyes who in government, who not in government, what is happening. A lot of news been factoring in, other news by past, who is following what is happening. It's just crazy because the distractions is too much. I learned today why they called the former Minister of State, now Senator, to go in for questioning. I think it's good for our democracy. People, nobody should be above the law. If they call you in for clarification to explain yourself, show up. It's just too much. There must be a leader. Every group, every organization, every institution, someone must be in charge. But this tendency of us as Liberians, everybody wants to blow their own trumpet, even if they are part of the group, and they think they can do anything, can walk scot-free. It has to stop. Now, I'm not saying he has committed anything wrong, but the idea to have an organized system. Every day we will get there, we will get there. When we will get there, we were down weighing tipote. Those days, we were told that we will get there. Now, all the beer here, everything great, we will get there. So when we need to be there now. No, we will. We need to be there now. And the only way we can be there is, it's not just one person. It is not just only the president of the country. However, the president leads the role. He leads the maritime. He will lead this path of how we're going to get there. He will determine the direction. His administration, his willingness to get us to the finishing line, that is also contingent upon him. But it is our responsibility. We as a people, as a nation, as a community, and as a society, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in the diaspora, you can be at home. We all do have a shared responsibility in making sure that we have a vibrant society. I'm not sure whether we are not having enough conversations or these conversations being decided with so much of politics. For this reason, people seems not to comprehend, not to understand. So maybe we need to be having some sort of section now. We're going to call it maybe Sisi. But calling Sisi too is putting people at risk because he's a politician. So politicians are noted of Kevin's and a fine-tuned message. He's a good guy, but who knows whether he's going to bring his own politics into it that would dilute the conversations. I can't even count on Wilton Ketot, the Wiashant, not even Evis. So probably the best tool that can get this done is Dr. Jones and myself. We are the ones that are really open up. You can't even try the labor. It's like, then you already kick the can down the road. Not to mention to Jerry Bacon, bridge over troubled water. So this challenge probably, Carter said, because Carter too is one of the Boasians. Sometimes she moderate, but when she tried to be, then Sisi will send a text, the liberals send a text. In fact, what they have done to us, they have created a factions in the name of we are serving our country. Sisi went for 35 minutes now turned to 3 hours. Quarter gone. I hope the Reverend politicians, Terry Collins, they don't like Terry because Terry is a guy who is, he's a moderate guy. Is a sort of Joe Manchin type. One day he was Democrat, the other day he was this other side. One day he wants to run, another day he's not contesting. So they're not too comfortable with Terry because Terry doesn't play to the playbook. So probably Terry, most likely he will come on our side. But I can count on Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones, on the other end, too, is the socialist Democrat, capital punishment, want to build more of better yalla. So it looks like, it seems to me I will be taking the long battle by myself. Because sometimes Dr. Jones, he wants to take a radical approach. He wants to take a radical approach. So it's kind of difficult. So probably I need to reach out to bring in new faces here, because I will still manage with Dr. Jones, because Sese and Jerry Bacon and the Liberals managed to him. Okay, well, let's see. I was seeing Analysts from New Jersey. Don't pour pepper water in my eye, because I see the bottle you're holding back there. It looks like a real pepper from Lofa and Grand Gita Bomb all mixed together. Koto Jalabalayan is a senior contributor to the Library Public Radio, a strong voice of now President Jose Newman Boyka. What is happening in the Boyka war now? Will they still talk the way they used to talk, or the kid gonna eat his own baby, or they will speak truth to power? You see, that's the difficult thing, because if you have to raise an alligator, it's hard to kind of undo it. So for some of us who are more independent, I mean genuine independent, we are vindicated. The one that are talking around whole day, they're scratching their head, oh, we're not expecting, is because they all helped to facilitate the process. They were the mouthpiece. They did not take a neutral role. Let me bring in Koto Jalabala in here, this event, and let's see how this is going to square out here as usual. There you see her. The paper in town. Everybody doing it. So I don't get no phone call from you, Sese Gon, the Liberal. I don't know. I think I saw somebody in Atlanta, Georgia. Are you in Atlanta or you're in New Jersey?
Unknown destination.
Oh, you're in Lawrenceville in New Jersey, right?
Unknown destination.
Wow, why would you be unknown destination? Who are you running from?
You.
What? You see? Yeah. So, you know, I think this whole Liberian politics, a lot of, we got to join this Sour battalion, because if you are not part of the Sour battalion, apparently you will not be incorporated in society. Okay, Corporal, good evening. Welcome. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Soul. How are you doing?
So the Liberal been threatening me from time to time. I'm just sick and tired of it. You guys not doing anything. I'm not sure you're part of that conspiracy. Every evening, I will fire you. A pepper tree behind the house, the baby can't cry, right? Even when the baby hungry, and you say you want to pepper the baby. I'm not one of those. Okay, so let's see what happens here this evening. Dr. Jones Octavius Malice, the socialist Democrat, who is also putting, I don't know whether this guy myself will continue to, because one day he fall inside, another day he take it, he put a hand there. You know, so I don't know. I think I will blow my own trumpet. Let me bring in Dr. Malice Jones, who is, I was saying,
I said the man became doctor. The way he's shining, I can't stand it.
You see, all of your girl go hair now. Your hair used to be black. Your seeing your toe power, your girl go hair. What made him Dr. Jones? But man, I just got to marry with you. Yeah, I think my master said there with it. I got to marry with you. You see, then she in Atlanta, Georgia right now. The papa in town.
You all right?
Yeah, the papa in town. Okay, guys, good evening. So welcome to the show. We want to welcome our viewers. Charles, Charlie, good to be here. Mr. Bala, SB. Stan, you and I will go to court in Arizona before you come on this network. Okay, Dr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
What's going on in your country, man? What is it happening again? all things considered, what is going on in that country?
You know, democracy in Africa is almost like it's almost like the hen. You know,
Hmm.
it lay a lot of eggs so many times, and so sometimes some of the egg come premature. Sometimes some come real mature, and so that's how the democracy is in Africa. But I think, from my own assessment, I think I need to reclassify the democracy in Liberia as the Liberian democracy because there are too many shortfalls when it comes to our democracy in Liberia. So I want to now reclassify it as the Liberian democracy. I thought it was the American democracy we are following, but it seems to be it has metamorphosed somewhere. Yes.
I
So
think
the Liberian democracy, I think, I don't know whether it's helping us, but I want to call it the Liberian democracy now for so many reasons.
you are on the verge of starting another controversies on this evening, this Wednesday. It's Liberian democracy. Okay, let's go to Koto. We're going to get an in-depth of it. This is all things considered. Koto, this guy is indirectly, I don't know what he's saying. So why will you think that it is it on President Boyka is Liberian democracy or what? I just want to get that clear before I go to Koto. You haven't said that before you come in with this. Yeah. Is it Koto that you see try to get on her skin so quick, so fast in this program?
Oh no, I'm not getting on senior panelist Balayan scheme. But I think right after the Liberian Civil War, I started seeing the emergence of the Liberian democracy.
Okay, let's welcome one of the moderates and they not let Terry Sissy to Koto the liberal, they not let Terry be. They say they want Terry not part of the that group. Mr. Terry Collins, CM political analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. Are you in Atlanta, Georgia, to or what? Koto then there. They told you that they were going?
Not really, but yeah, I hope they enjoy.
Say don't throw the broom away. Is it a broom?
The broom not working correct.
The broom not working. You can't wait for 2029. I want what dry dog see where you be eating. But dog can get dry.
This is a politician, man.
A politician, eh? Oh,
So
man.
forget it.
2029 we eat, Becky. I will talk about what now. Okay, Mr. Collins, good evening. Welcome. Yeah, so quickly go ahead, Dr. Jones. Let me go to Koto. Is it now or it has been in the past? We just want to get a record straight.
Let me first of all extend my greeting to the pastor and stroke Lpr, political analyst. Here myself been going back and forth today on the chat in the chat room. On
Don't bring our Derek Crew also.
Oh, but the CEO been following up.
I just watching love. You're talking.
I think it was well educational, you know, and it like there's some area I got stuck, and I wanted for the pastor, you know, to rescue me, and he did. And
I've been enjoying that. Yeah. Man, on fire going issue. I like these guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, CEO, you know, and I know, there's nothing that perfect democracy. Like what is happening in this country, I mean, they are trying their best to live up to expectation, especially for the issue of law and order, justice across, whether it's pure or fair justice, but there's justice across. I Imale Kono, as minority, something happened, I call the police. They won't say they won't come because I'm a black man. They will come because the law says so. But what I noticed in Liberia now, since post-war Liberia, we hiding behind democracy and doing a whole lot of things in that country. So what I see now, we are enhancing or enforcing what I call selective democracy in Liberia. Certain part, in looking at certain part, we don't like it. And certain part, we love it. We love the election aspect. When it comes to people eating money, and will allow democracy to go there, for also look at some of the transparency and accountability, it become a problem. Okay? The culture of impunity, a whole bunch of things in our country. Now, the last time, even the security analyst, Mr. Bacon, even classify corruption now as an organized crime. Okay? So, I don't know. So, I have just decided now to call it the Liberian democracy. Because there are so many things that I have seen here, I don't see it there anymore since post-war Liberia.
Okay,
So
let me hold you
I think the Liberian democracy, and we will go into details about that.
Okay, let me hold you there. Hopefully, the Sierra Leone's Cote d'Ivoire democracy will not also come in. They will not suddenly. Mr. Jerry Barkan, good evening. Welcome.
How are you, sir? Good evening. Good evening to all the panelists. Good afternoon, wherever you are listening to us. How you doing, sir? How you doing, madam? The only female on our show.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Bacon. Thank you.
Are you in Atlanta there with her as well?
No, I'm staying in the state of Rhode Island. The ocean breeze is blowing me.
Oh, Lawrenceville.
No.
You say in Lawrenceville?
I said the state of Rhode Island. I said the state of Rhode
What's about
Island. The
Lawrence?
ocean breeze
What's
is
about
blowing
Lawrenceville?
me.
You know, I saw some colorful, glamorous pictures surfacing around Lawrenceville, Atlanta's area there. So somebody told me, say, oh, LPR crew. I said, so how can they just go like that? But anyway, I don't know which plane carried them. So that one, I just talking it. Okay, Koto, let me just come to you. Good evening. This guy is opening another front here this evening, unexpected, but it's all things considered. So we don't have control over what he wants to say, but we can also question the Liberian democracy. Let me just bring you in here. Not too much being on for it. What caught your attention of lately?
Thank you very much. Lately, there have been a lot of things actually. We have been, like for today, the major issue since yesterday to today have been the invitation of Senator Nathaniel Mange at the LACC. And I just want to throw a little light on what Mr. Jones said. There is no pure democracy. We have mixed, we have different kind of democracy. It depends on how you as a nation or how you as a philosopher want to, run an institution or run your government. And I feel that's how I actually supposed to be, because we have read of all of the philosophers. They come out with their various ideas, and then we copy those ideas. Why we, create our own ideology too that people will follow? You can follow the philosophy of Cotto, follow the philosophy of whoever here. How we implement, the philosophy is what matters. So if you call it Liberian democracy, I will agree with you that Liberia have a unique or different way of handling issues. We might be, we might frown at it or give it different nomenclature, but it is just different and unique in its own way. We come to other countries and interact with them, we will find out it because that is a societal issue, because the environmental issue, when you migrate from one end to another, a societal issue becomes different because other people behave the way they behave, you behave the way you behave. But again, I want to agree with you that Liberia, is a kind of different democracy that is practiced there, and it is unique to itself.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, let's welcome.
I was not here, but I hear. Now who are calling my name? Now who posts about me, then they take it down.
You're so close to power, you want to make flower?
Now who are calling my name, then they take it down.
You're still around president, you want to be making flower, then what we'll do now? Well, when you attack me, I will attack the president.
Oh, you speaking like that now.
I get right there.
Yeah.
No, I came from a spiritual support from the deacon, doctor, and the Bishop Collins. Because it was arguing about legal girlfriend today in the chat room. I said, I got to come here today to listen to two of them.
My man, don't bring out.
I didn't even see you say. I said, I don't want. Okay, guys, let's get down.
I thought you, my man, don't come for your mom or your mom can be bowed. That's how you move Zanzan Kawa for a position.
What's on the MCC? What's on the MCC? Yeah.
MCSS, you leave me with the
MCSS, rather.
me buying America, you leave me. I want no trouble. That's our thing I hear. It's
All
been
right,
a while.
good evening.
Dr. Joe, it's nice seeing you, my brother. It's been a long time.
Yes,
And
sir, Chief.
to our audience, our DPS regret for not being here. That's what happened when you have a board of director who is intimidating staff, and then there was a self-strike.
Actually, I've been working on the audit report. We're about to release the audit report. The audit, your audit is very damaging. So,
I already resigned, so that audit empire.
You still audit you. Some 20 you got in office. Still the audit taking.
You want honest some to
Wow. So the LSCC, so who the board, what the LSCC?
But don't act like you're not on our committee. Then you probably don't boy bro. You must say you don't want wrote it.
I'm not on our committee.
You wrote the whole report. I will publish the report.
No.
I know Jerry Bacon was the advisor on how to go around to collect all the evidence, right? You were working on something. Okay, guys, let's get the ball rolling. To our follower, we said we sincerely regret a lot of things being playing out here, so it's not on purpose, and we should have sent an announcement out of. But again, and the reason to the Liberal is not been seeing the Liberal through the Liberal making some transition, so that's the reason. Even though it's Tabata, thank God said he's not here. I don't know how Fatu and the other folks going to manage, but Jerry Bacon is on your own. But let me just bring you in. Terry, good evening. Good to have all of you here. What's going on? Who in government? Who daughter? Who son? All these. What is it? Nathaniel McGee went for today. Terry, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
McGee.
Well, if you want to go with it, that's fine, but you can open your own corridor.
But you already threw the red meat there already, then.
Don't go with it.
But you know, Nathaniel McGee is in hot water right now. And I think that is just the, how they can call it, the south, the iceberg. I think my internet is not looking good. Let me go out and come back.
No, we're hearing you good. You're good.
The man scared of top of my game. You want to run away. You're top of my game.
Maggie, yeah, Mr. So, Maggie just need to go and clear his side. Simple. The people call you, go there and clear your side. I don't think you need to carry. You see, when you start carrying the entourage, it shows that you somehow you're guilty. It shows skepticism. Quietly go. You got veteran lawyer like Sir William Cephas. What you worry about? The man who say he will make Mr. Cummings to go teach. Then you worry. You get veteran like Sir William Cephas with you. Then you worry. There you go and defend yourself. Simple.
Okay. Fatu, we are sorry. There are a lot of other technical things being going on, but and we should have given people notice what wasn't coming on. But we try to make different plans now. Like the other day, Terry came on we're going to be doing that. Look, talking about that before I go to Jerry back on, this is one of the things that I feel so bad about that country. Serena Cephas. But anyway,
Right.
you know, they get his son and say, you know, all the politicians, I will dance with the devil, I will, whatever I do, I can. This guy is indicted. Likewise, Nage himself, and you're taking this guy to be your what, legal counsel? That's just
Two indictees, double
yeah.
negative.
I don't understand who advised these people. I mean, we don't know yet whether there's a crime being committed, but the name of that payroll piling alone, it involves a lot of things before people tampering with people, check, increasing pay, doing, I mean, different things. We got to wait to see. But the idea for he to allow this guy to accompany him and to face the camera, that's just a joke. It speaks the value of the kind of country and the society that we have. So it looked like in that country, from what I noticed, when you pluck people's eyes and people are being blind, the country and people celebrate you because these people shouldn't be closer to where they will be talking about. You need to clear your bagage, Frenchmen say, before you can do it. But anyway, that's a different thing. That Mr. Jerry Barkon, let's bring you in here.
Well, that is a hot topic. That's a hot cake that everybody want to handle a piece of it. See, I said it before, and I will say it again. What we have in Liberia now, it comes to fruition. When I said it, you will try to ostracize me. Oh, because you think I read issue on it, so every day you come on the show, you talk about white collar crime, organized crime. That's what's going on in our country. There is nothing. People not breaking into people's homes. People not breaking into people's cars. These guys sit on their computer and they use their paper and pen and they just rip the Liberian people money. $21 million. Could you believe it? $21 million. That could help to facilitate high school, colleges, university, hospitals, and things. Roads we're talking about.
Are we jumping ahead of your shadow because you want to be more political in this thing here? It was
no, hold on. You see, no, I'm not doing anything political. I just saying my feeling. What are happening in Liberia is organized crime, and we have to deal with it. It's an organized crime. It's a white collar crime, and people are not even want to admit these things. And even in our Liberia right now, we don't even have anything they call cyber crime law. How do you prosecute these people?
Is there a crime? What I want to ask before I go to CC, and this is a very interesting. Is a crime being committed already, or we must be concerned that a potential crime is being committed?
Potential crime.
Or the payroll.
Okay, let's go back. There's an indictment. There's an indictment right now on former finance minister and some official government who are using the internet and commit crime. So that's what I'm talking about. I have been talking about it a long time ago. That's why I just want to make the point. But however, Senator McGay, the senator from Margibi, the Auditor General just asking and say, come to our office, we want to know what you did. So that's his responsibility. Let him go there. If you want to carry his lawyer, fine. If you want to carry the entire lawyer there, that's fine. They just do the investigation, that's all. You come in there. They call him, this is what happened, this is what we suspected. So come and defend yourself. That's a procedure.
Yeah, but quickly here, take her into your security background before I go to say here. The payroll patterns, it involves a lot of things: potential crime, increase of people's salary, unauthorized payments. The involvement in itself most likely seems to be like a crime being committed. But we are not saying a crime is already being committed. But you as an investigator, if you look at the nature of that, and somebody of a high profile person were to call in, hey, come and clarify, should that person be nervous?
Oh yeah, there are two things going on. That's what happened. The guy investigation and the guy interrogation. Okay, here's the investigation. Investigation means that I have collected evidence surrounding you. And, where were you yesterday? This is a document I have. Then I'll bring it to you and begin to interrogate you. You say you were to where you are in Liberian Public Radio yesterday. Where were you? What time were you there? Who you spoke to? Who all on the show? So right now, the Liberian how you call them? Say the FCC. Now they're interrogating him now because they finished doing their background investigation. They finished doing their investigation. Now it's time for the interrogation. What a history with Marsh, what they have.
So collaboration. Okay, Sese. Let me just bring you in here. Should he be worried? Should he be concerned that their information, in as much people calling, does not necessarily suggest wrong is being done? Or should he be concerned? Should there be anything out there that is hanging potentially just visiting, come and explained? So he went, he's out. What next?
But let me take my glasses off.
Take it up.
The way the United States government took out most of the porcupine protected towns now. You know how many take out the me sharp when they build one and I want LSTC come and take on and then I'll be naked porcupine. What good is a porcupine that you don't have your tongue to protect yourself? Look, man, I think Honorable Magere he's a smart man. He's not wanting in intelligence. He understands, he knows what he's done. So within himself, he knows whether he's guilty or he's innocent. So for me, I think I wanted to play out. I think it is within his right to carry his lawyer. And I actually think it's a smart thing that he picked a guy who they all in the same devil bush together because the man understands it. You know, when I first started teaching in the US, I was teaching a very affluent side of Maple Grove. The children come to school, they're wearing that. In fact, the school bus will come empty. All the parents bringing them in with Lexuses and stuff. Kids have problems I couldn't understand. Like, I've never been rich. I had to change my school the following year. So I was looking for the school where we had 90% free and reduced lunch. We had kids that would come from home that, one day the light is out and they've eaten one day, because that's what I understood. So I could thrive in that environment. I'm saying that to say that Porcupine know his buddy. The man understands the process. I think that's the best way to go. Here is my one problem, my guy. And
that's not a porcupine.
Not a porcupine?
No.
My guy is porcupine.
Because he said porcupine.
Yeah,
that he is that.
Okay.
That's how
who is the porcupine? Who is the porcupine?
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
So the problem here that for me, what really took me aback was the what I like to refer to as the Stockholm sycamore tree syndrome. Into the Stockholm syndrome, where these people that were being held as hostages fell in love with their captives. It's almost what it looked like in this political cycle. It's like our people from Munampeno Yomblo University, who were kept down by these people stealing. Oh, the people today that guy in the street and say they're yelling balls, wait, they're jumping up and down. They are accusing somebody of padding of payroll with over 700 names. And you got about what? Less than 50 people jumping in the street, jumping up and down. Is that the protection they said they're going to deliver? With the IT Secretary General, the IT Secretary on the youth wing chair. We have to pass a law in Liberia where we better define what youth is. Bunch of old men then that have not accomplished anything. Can I be jumping around the street calling and say youth? For me, that's the next thing I can be jumping on. We got to start really defining what's a youth. But my problem is that there were university graduates that were in our group today doing doing symptoms of like they're shooting guns. The LSCC wrote somebody and said, come and answer questions. By the way, this is a sitting senator who is protected by law. And you dare jump in the street. So when they say they're going to protect their people, anytime they call them and the protection of the put what? 30 people out in the street. If they really got that protection, let them ask our man to come back from with the LEC money. Where you want to collect in Ivory Coast, didn't come by here. Me, I'm here for fighting today. So I've been going for a long time.
They're coming for you. Yeah. Don't worry.
We're fighting every day. Okay, so all right. I think more or less, everybody go away. Let's start with Dr. Jones. Let's spin around. Dr. Jones says there is, let me get it directly from the house's mouth. Liberians, what Liberia democracy, you say?
Doma.
Yes, but actually, what's on my plate tonight? That was just a salad dressing to what is on my plate tonight. But if you want to listen
My
to
first time is my motherfucker eating salad, so let you hear the pie today.
What kind of salad? What kind of salad is that? Vegetable salad or what?
So actually, I wanted to talk about.
Vegetable.
I really wanted to talk about Jim Flomoyan, who was appointed as the chairman for the National Commission on Small Arms. I think Joseph Baka kept him there, but he took a decision that I differ with in many ways. He has given the right and privileges to the American embassy, guard, and diplomat to carry arms. So it's been bothering me, you know. Do we know the kind of future we try to put ourselves in when all the embassy in Liberia are asking for arms for their bodyguard and the diplomats? Then what happened to the vulnerable citizens? Most of the people that are working for the embassy, some of them, according to inside sources, are ex-rebel fighters. Just recently, the labor that even killed a 19-year-old boy in Broadville in the police force. I've been doing some research on him. He's a Urumoke ex-fighter, young as he is. He in jail right now for murder. Okay, so if Jim Flomoyan is giving privileges to the American embassy for its bodyguard and all its diplomat to carry arms in Liberia when we have embargo on these things, it troubles me a lot. I don't think it was right. Yes, that's why on my plate tonight we'll go into the details. But if you want me to elaborate on the Liberian democracy, I can tell you, because I know the democracy we have in Liberia is the Liberian democracy. And there are so many things that account for that. So many, we have just listed some here already, right?
Okay, so because we want all of the analysts to also chip in, and they're going to bring their own talking points, and we all scramble over it. Guys, this is what this guy dished out this evening here. Who has the second version of his argument? Who agrees with him?
Which one? Is it the salad dressing or the new one?
No, I'm not a salad.
Yes, I threw a little light on what.
Get a little again.
I threw a little light on what Mr. Marty said. And like when he said it, I said that we don't have pure democracy. And if we go into what a democracy, the listing of democracy is, we have like 6 or 7 of the type of democracy. And if you will see, not even though America practicing the pure one, they have different countries practicing in a different level, either consensus or sometimes they call it the Bhutanese, and sometimes they do the consensus, and I mean variety of it. So if he comes out to say Liberia democracy, I don't know what to compare it with. Of course, he would not know what to compare it with. You go to Nigeria, you go to other countries, you will see it's practiced differently. So I agree with him that, and what I had really been advocating for is Liberia to say that we have our own democracy. It should be unique to us. But what I want it to be, why it is unique to us, it should be done in a way that other people will admire it, that they will want to practice our democracy. Because, for example, what we had, like the system we had this gone election and previous election, especially since the war, right after the war, we were able to have free and fair election. And in succession, we had in 4 elections, if I'm not mistaken. So in that light, that's Liberian democracy. Other countries will not have, overcome war situation and have election the way we had it. People have had, war and had to go through Rwanda. They had to go through court system or investigation. Like Sierra Leone, they have to go through investigation. But see, Liberia, we have not gone through court, war crime court, or even other the recommendation that was given by the TRC. But yet, we are living peacefully in Liberia. So for me, I say the democracy there is unique in our way. The only thing is that we just need to improve on other aspects of it, like the corruption aspect. If we could work on the corruption aspect and have it, minimized, not, even to say abolish, but if it is minimized or we can mitigate it, and we will have a unique democracy in Liberia. For me, I think it's better as compared to other countries.
Okay. One my man's children, I love my said it best. So it's obvious. Koto Jalabalayan. Okay, Terry?
Well, if that,
No, go ahead.
if that is the topic for tonight, or preliminarily, I will firstly want to ask Dr. Madi, like I asked him before, what kind of democracy is he talking about? Because he's talking many things. He said he wants socialism, but it will be mixed with democracy. So I don't know exactly what he's talking about, because that's why I'm trying to figure out here. I'm looking at some things here. They're talking about direct democracy. They're talking here about representative democracy, which is the most popular democracy that we're practicing now in our society, which is, the people elect the president, elect parliamentarians to represent them and all that, representative democracy. So, but what kind of democracy are you talking about? Are you talking about a democracy wherein the government will determine who become president? Like the American democracy, the electoral college determine the winner of the presidency. That is a form of democracy they practice here. Even though a lot of people can vote for you, but at the end of the day, the electoral college will determine who wins the election. So what kind of democracy are you talking about? Because every democracy must come with some level of the people participating into the electoral process of their leaders. So are you talking about a democracy that will exempt the people because you also involve socialism and all that? Is that what you're talking about, that will exempt the people? Maybe you will say only 25-year-old may vote, or only the old people like 71-year-old, those that are using the BAPA heart surgery should vote. I don't understand, but tell us, tell us what kind of democracy you're driving at that you want to sell tonight.
Point of correction, Collins. The discussion on board tonight is different from my philosophy. The last time I told you about my philosophy, that if I have the opportunity, it will be not in a too distant future. I'm telling you today from my own assessment and my own research, the democracy we're having in Liberia is the Liberian democracy.
And what is that?
I'm coming now. And the democracy has a lot of compartments. The Liberian democracy gave rise to corrupt judiciary, no justice for the poor, human rights abuses, culture of impunity, rampant corruption, lack of accountability and transparency, mysterious killings, judicial killings, president taking responsibility of missing money for her son, and the list go on and on and on. Now we still classify these things as democracy. We are practicing democracy. We're hanging on a portion that involve election. we're hanging on the portion that we like, that involve election. We're hanging on the portion. This is a democracy where war laws, after killing a whole lot of people, they go by their people, elect them, and they own taxpayer money. I have not seen that kind of democracy before. So I have decided to classify it as in the Liberian democracy. These are the components that we have in the Liberian democracy, not just election. Because if you talk to any level-headed person, a war law on taxpayer money, after killing all those people for 16 years, then we come here and we want to classify it as democracy, or because he was elected by his people. I disagree. We are not practicing democracy in our country. We are practicing the portion that we like. And I want to believe strongly that the democracy that we had before the war is inherited from the United States of America. And United States of America inherited her democracy from Great Britain. But the democracy that I see in this country, it's not the same democracy in Liberia now since post-war Liberia. So I have classified it as the Liberian democracy. You find this thing in the Liberian democracy. As a living testimony, as a living testimonial to that, I have seen it, I have witnesses, and it's caught up with me. And even the portion that Mr. Bacon just talked about, we no more talking about corruption, but organized crime against the poor people. This is the democracy we're talking about in Liberia right now. And that's how I'm going to classify it going forward.
Going forward.
Thank you.
He's very vehement in his argument. Okay. Yeah, we want to. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, and then I'll go to Sissy. Yeah, that back on. Go ahead.
You know, Dr. Jones, maybe you are forgetting history. The democracy you talk about in this country, you talk about killing. Those who are killed. Let's look at this. Look at Jackson, Andrew Jackson. Who was he in the military? He got one of the ruthless human beings that killed during the Civil War in this country. And he was elected president of what? Since so human sitting on today. And people had demonstrated that some of his monument be taken down. What the other general from Virginia?
Why?
Yeah. Take his monument down. Up to this time, people are still fighting for Christopher Columbus, who quote unquote discovered America. The Indians, they don't want to celebrate Columbus Day anymore in the United States of America. So folks, let us not lead our people when it comes to history. History is there. All we have to do is to modify it to be strengthening ourselves. People are for civil war in their country. And they come up. Look at Rwanda. They fought. Like you stated civilian. They fought and they're doing it. My sister make a reference to it. The TRC report. So these are history that we have to look at these things. These are precedent. It might not happen in our country, but there are other countries that are happening to them and they move forward. And today, we're practicing the same American democracy today with the express it in our home. They brought it to us. Even they didn't even teach us. They just say we need democracy in Africa. But let me make this point. Maybe I might go a little farther. The democracy will happen in Liberia. No, we got democracy in Liberia. I'm gonna modify it. We got kingship in Liberia.
Kingship?
Yeah, kingship.
Mr. Bago, are you going to be security advisor to the president?
I said in Liberia, I say in Africa as a whole, got kingship. That's what we have.
So what do we have in what do we have in Liberia before I go to Sissy?
But we have democracy, but in the continent of Africa, if you look at the continent of Africa, we have kingship. If we say we're probably democracy in Liberia, but if we look at it, we got kingship. everything we want to do, we have to go to the president.
So quickly here, is that sort of kingship in your own world? Is it being carried out?
I just adding to Mr. Marley something that said what we have
you, I didn't hear anything coming from Dr. Jones. You liberals.
I said from myself. I said what we have is kingship. Because everything we want to do in Liberia. Listen to me very carefully. Listen very well.
Is it ongoing in Liberia now?
It is going all over in the continent of Africa. It's not only Liberia alone.
I've been specific with my question.
What I say it's going all over Africa. They will have kingship. Everything we want to do in Africa, we have to go to the president. We have listen to me very well. I said everything we do in Africa, we have to go to the president. You want to do something, you got to go to the president. Like you must say, we in Pawtucket here, you don't have to go to the governor to say we want to do this. Anything you want to do, you go to the city hall. So we have all the local government to do this thing. But here in Africa, there's something happening. We got let me close on this. Look what's going on right now in MCC. Okay, about firing the people. So these are issues. Employee, I think about 9 employees were fired.
I know. I said who? I know. I said who fired them?
Well, they said they have some sarcastic remark against the president, so they fired him. So these are things we have to talk about.
Meaning that's a kingship. Okay, so let me go to Sister here. But from what I sense out from you, Jones said we have the Liberian different from any other one, but you say we have kingship in Liberia. Sissy.
Yeah. Look. Well, first thing to clarify, Mr. Balcon said that Andrew Jackson fought in the Civil War. Andrew Jackson died in 1845. American Civil War started in 1861. He was not even alive when the Civil War started. But Mr. Mali, just because the chicken feet rotting in me, not chicken feet. We go down on the side, we buy Jordans. The Jordan, the flat, and I sit down there, the ice now melt in a long time. That's still chicken feet. And rotting, we just call it rotting chicken feet. We ain't say because it's rotting and chicken feet no more. So, and we put that one in kettle and we mash. The point I'm trying to make here, is that we have democracy. We have I want to choke the PhD, sorry. We have a variation of democracy on the continent, even here in America. And I like what the Reverend brought in about American democracy, right? It's not a direct participatory democracy. It differs. Like, for example, when you start looking at some democracy, like look at South Africa, for example. South Africa has what I would term as a flawed democracy. Yes, they have a strong electoral system, but corruption and inequality is just rampant, right? You have some countries on the continent that have a monarchy, but they have some sort of election going on. It's just how the British people have it. You don't elect the kings and the queen or the royalty, right? They're there. They're just born and being rich. They're there. So that is a form of democracy. Ours is that a Sunni way democracy that we are knows and past democracy. And we are used to it. We accept it. The only problem I got is with when Dr. Mali says that people in Liberia, warlords are being elected, and therefore it's not a democracy. All I would say is look at the Orange Emperor that is running on a Republican ticket with 34 convictions as a felon, and he's still on the ballot.
Right.
Yeah, talking to Donald Trump, call your Nietzsche, one family, come family, blah, blah, blah. But the point I'm making here is that democratic tenets and democracy is a messy thing. There is no way where you got a very clean, nice democracy. The problem we have, and Mr. Mali, you and I have talked about this before, is that Liberia, we know how to spy. Ain't no picking I can spy from you school to the rail and knee down everything. That's how we can do it.
Answer.
We spy the people's constitution. We wait to see how people implement it. We take it with chocolate. We said our own constitution. We spy the people's flag. We say so. Omar then first said they didn't do nothing. They just took us on stars and took us on stripes. Say, oh, the people that talk down. They say for us. We keep borrowing people things. We don't wait till we read to the end. We generally join 1135 preacher. You know the preacher like I want to say join 1135 Jesus. Well, you don't talk about Jesus crying. He doesn't talk about join 1134. What happened before? And why did Jesus cry? And John 11:36, what happened thereafter? We want to see John 11:35. We run away Jesus where we say camp offering. Now what we do in our process in Liberia, we took a system of governance and we supplanted in our country without recognizing that we have different cultures and different value systems to make sure that we make this thing in a way that will be palatable to our culture and our customs and our norms. We didn't do it. We just take a copy and paste with the people need all on it. We ain't no say we spot the people need. So that is the problem we have. And that is why even when you set up these democratic institutions that are supposed to be a check and balance, right? Like the judiciary, for example, Dr. Malik keep talking about here. The judiciary should be independent in a clean democracy. But if the judiciary is not independent, then who holds the democracy up? Where can the citizens go to fight against a law that they think is unjust, that is being passed by the legislature, and really hope that it can get a fair share? Nowhere. So how is that really a strong democracy? I do agree with the greater point that Dr. Mari is trying to make. I think his point is that we're not practicing democracy as should be, and that is why he's saying there's no democracy, and so I agree with that. But, you know, we have a democracy. It's just our chicken feet rotting, and we still eating it. Oh.
Okay, so Dr. Male, you listen to your colleagues, spoke up on the hair, so we can go to the other guys for their talking point. We want to keep within the time frame. So I don't know. So
let me just conclude that, from what Sissy said, I don't know, probably we try to do cherry picking democracy in Liberia. I don't want to talk about Africa. The portion that is okay for me, I pick it from inside and run with it.
Well.
Yeah. The one that not good for me when it comes to transparency, tell me how you ate the people money. I bring a group on the street and they barricade me. Then what democracy say?
I'm calling many, but don't be scared.
Okay. So to really be frank with you, democracy as a CA, if I had not come here, I would just think, say, what is happening in Liberia, that democracy running. If I had not come this side of the world, before I came here, I thought everything that was happening in Liberia, that was the perfect democracy. So we're all in line. So these are some of the benefits of traveling and being in contact with other ideas. But again, the summary here is that democracy is a very difficult thing to practice by Black people, especially in Africa. It's difficult. Look, I just read something from Uganda. The people are supposed to demonstrate. Museveni told the people, say, if you don't know where your mother is, appear in Kampala, you will see, I will show you where your mother came from. BBC had a story. They set a checkpoint and he directed the people to go on the football field and demonstrate inside that football field. Any attempt to leave from that football field, you will classify you as a rebel and you will go to jail for 5 years. That's the Ugandan democracy. America can't tell us the wrong, no. You see? So, panelists, you got to agree with me that what is being practiced in Liberia, let's just qualify a
coalition.
Send me cash app. Send me my cash app. I agree with you.
I differ with Mr. Bacon that is a kingship. No, I don't see that one. Kingship don't eat money. The government rather give you money to run the loyalty.
Okay. All right. So let's go to. All right. Let's go to the next person talking point so that everybody can chip in. So, Madam Dr. Jones asked for everybody to go with him. Who going with him?
He's in my cash app. I still looking
for me. I'm with you.
I think he's happy about Uganda business. He won't go leave Uganda. I'm happy talking about
I don't agree with him. Dr. Mali is separating his opinion from.
Let me just take it back to Rwanda.
Let me see. Rwanda have a democracy.
Election. I decided to do the research on their constitution. in our constitution, you know what democracy say in our constitution? They get open turn, you just run as many times as you want to.
But the democracy,
Okay.
Mr. Mali,
I come in now.
Yeah, let me just give my contrary view to your opinion.
Lesotho has a king, but they still have elections.
Right. So, what did just transpire in Liberia if we don't have a democracy? What transpired? How you call that? Where in power was turned over. Now, this is not the first time. This have happened consistently over the past 3 years. The major thing about democracy is the participation of the people exercising the rights to who they want to rule them.
Oh,
so that is me. I come in now. The aspect of you even saying that, oh yeah, you want to involve a capitalism form of democracy, I don't understand that. But let's say that is what you want to initiate to change the trajectory of the country. No. The very people now that are running the system of democracy will be the one running that particular system. The problem with Liberia is not the implementing of the law, it's the people who implements the law. So any system you bring in Liberia, any system you bring in any part of Africa, those who in power, once they are corrupt, they will want to control it their way. So it is not the system that make the people, it is the people that make the system. So so just how today power was transferred to Boka. How did it transfer to Boka? Because the people decided. President Weah decided that, President Boka won an election. The election commission decided to do the right thing, to read the data that were on the books. And based upon that, he had no option. The reason why you see all those things going on in Lesotho and Lesotho, and all those places is because the people who are responsible to uphold the Constitution refuse because they have been bribed. And that will continue to happen in Africa because of corruption. Any system you bring in Africa, it will change in the way they want to do it because the people are the one who make the system work, not the system.
Can I get pushed back for 1 minute, please?
Yeah, we need to have a 30 seconds so the other folks can come to their talking.
So I just want to push back on a little bit on Collins here. We are not talking about election democracy. Democracy is a package. You know how you go to Stop and Shop with your card, you get your card, you put a lot of things inside. So we shouldn't be hanging there on election. Election is just a portion. It's a package. Okay? So democracy is just heaven for Africa. We just don't ever the portion that we like, that the portion we play with.
I mean,
but the last time I said what I may want. But then now when we're talking about what I may want here, I'm talking about qualifying democracy in Liberia. And I have decided now going forward to call it the Liberian democracy.
It depends on the people you elect.
No, that's my perception. I think one thing we got to clarify is that there is a system of government and then there's an economic system. Democracy and capitalism are they're in two different buckets. Because I think I'm overhearing the two of them being used interchangeably. Capitalism is an economic it's an economic system, not a governance system. So I just want to put it out there. I don't know if I'm misunderstanding.
I agree. I never
talk about capitalism here.
We got to move on.
Liberian democracy.
No, maybe I misheard. I was, me, I listened to sound again. I didn't trying to say.
Colin is trying to bring old story back here about my own philosophy. We're not talking about my philosophy.
Okay. I thought I heard something wrong.
No, Colin, we are not talking about my philosophy tonight, please.
Okay, let me progress.
We are talking about the prevailing democracy in Liberia.
I understand you, doctor. Go eat your kitty and vegetable soup.
He always like to bring controversy, but then he afraid say old story. Oh, you know the old story title, new story?
No. I did not say my philosophy in Liberia. I said what is in Liberia is called the Liberian democracy. That's the topic for me tonight.
Okay. Anybody you vote for, the people voted for Charles that they say you came my mind, you came my power will vote for you. It was the leader that chose to suffer the people, not the system called democracy that chose to suffer the people. No, it was the people that you elected. The people you elected.
Guys, let's
That's the system. Let Donald Trump here in America. After Donald Trump won the election and other things, right after what he told the people, any people marched to the Capitol and tried to break down the Capitol, the Capitol building.
34 felonies.
Was that democracy?
I said what happened in Liberia is a Liberian democracy.
Gentlemen,
you want to call it different name? Tell all the name you won't call it away.
Yeah, I said I still didn't want democracy, but you're not one on one. You still picking for.
I'm talking about Colin. Colin has not said no name here. I have given a name.
Hello, guys. Let's make progress. He has classified. He feels the kind of democracy that we have. That his country. He sees it. What he thinks that is happening in the country, and he get it under his belt. We want to persuade him to convince him. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. I can put you in one ring, and you can have that. Let's have the other people to make their talking point here. Let's go to Koto. What was your talking point? Let's get back to A. Let the guys make their input. We can make it just very succinct, brief, so that everybody can have the chance to speak to their. But let's go ahead.
Yeah, mine. Training issue was the issue of the invitation of Nathaniel Mange at the LCC, and where he was invited, and when he went there, we saw their supporter, whether CDC or whether individual supporters were all there. And sorry,
what wrong with that?
Well, I feel they have the right for supporters to go there and be there where they wanted to be with him to support him. My own problem I had with it was where they had to go and block the gate. I think that's where I had a problem with. They could have stand back and clap or jubilate, whatever jubilation they had to do or to carry on. But like blocking the gate was the bad thing to do, because you cannot go and block the gate where people movement was, you are like seizing movement, which was not right. You have the right to protest if they wanted to protest, or even whatever freedom of speech they wanted to give. They have the right, like they were there giving their speeches and things. I think they have the right to do that. But to go there and block the gate, that is what I have a problem with. And secondly, he being sanctioned, taking a lawyer that is also sanctioned. I also had a problem with that, because what happened is that if you are coming in and like they are saying that they want to be the next prospective government, and you coming in to bring your sanction people in, I think what they should have been doing now is to clear what negative thing they did in the past, to clean it up and reform the CDC. They're trying to do the very old thing that we're doing, that they were elected out of government. Okay. I think those were some of the things I saw, for time's sake.
So quickly here, before I go to the other.
Yeah.
Is it concerning what is eye-catching to you by just calling him? I want to clarify. We don't know all of the details here. We don't know the aftermath of his visit, things that were discussed. What going to be the next move by the LCC? Is there any crime being committed here? We've been seeing things happen over and over. This one come out, we thought, ooh, that will go low, submerge, go underwater. So now they call him. What next do you expect from LACC?
Well, I think it's a good thing that he was called, and I think they called him for clarity. Because what happened when such a thing happened, you want to find out from the person as to what had occurred. What happened and what I saw from the invitation is that they had 738 employees on a supplementary payroll, which that number is higher than even the staff that they have in the staff they have. And having that as a supplementary listing to pay people on a line, a budget line that was not appropriated for, that is not offer. It's accounting wise, it's not, because in order to transfer another account to another balance line, it has to be classified, and that was not a classification of an account. So those are the things that are questionable.
All right.
And from there, they had like question as to whether these individuals got the actual amount that was allotted for them, according to them. There, I saw names that were not seen, and those that were not supposed to get their appropriation was not the amount that they received. So those were questions that he was asked. But I want, this is not, it wasn't put up whether, that he answered this question. It's just a speculation that yes, he answered, yes, he signed the allotment for these people, but yet he did not do the disbursement. So that's another aspect of it. Okay, I think he agreed to sign those papers. Then we go to how the disbursements were done. So that will be the next thing that we will be getting to. I think the LCC will be getting to. Because we have to find out how this amount was disbursed. Because come amount of $2 million to this should be accounted for.
Okay, let's have others to contribute here. Dr. Jones. Basically, my question you're asking, for me, I'm just sick and tired of people calling people in. They'll kind of tell they want, and when we go at the end of the day, zero. We're not. The person's being called. Those who even placed the court, they don't get back. For the most part, they don't get back. We see this thing pop up. It becomes like a Coca-Cola, frozen from the fridge, and you open it and you just see it goes up there. Now, what next? The question I'm asking, what next? Will LACC come back to tell us or to tell the Liberian people, well, we call in the senator for clarification, we not understand, and the case is closed, or a potential crime is being committed, it needs to go to investigation. Those are the kind of things we need.
That's what we expect.
To take a stand. Will we hear that, or it's just another 2 days conversation, 3 days, at the end of the day, cold water, K-fly?
Well, I think the case speaks for itself. When you have a tinted lawyer preaching the case of a tinted politician, then that just gives you a vivid idea of the type of system you're running.
The liberal democracy, all of that inclusive,
no,
right?
No, forget, we'll pass that one now. I'm just telling you. When you get a tinted lawyer pleading the case of a tinted politician, then we can just guess the outcome. And one of the outcomes here is just what Madam Balanya just said. The people blocking the gate. That one outcome. I'm surprised they didn't even carry fire there to put it on the gate. I'm even surprised they didn't waste gasoline on that building. These are the outcome of the Liberian democracy, which you see. And so they're holding on to the gate. I think they try. Since they didn't burn the place, I think it's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Terry, quickly.
Well, Mr. So, that is the Liberian way. Politicians love the drama. And I think it's playing to Honorable Magay's to his political playbook. But one of the things that the CDC government is not realizing is that Liberians have seen the leadership. Liberians have seen the type of leadership. So the only way they will get people to really follow them and listen to them is unless they straighten up themselves, unless President Boyka actually does the worst. But until then, everything that Honorable Magay is doing now is going to go against him, because everybody knows. Everybody saw Honorable Magay, where he came from. And like I said, Magay, I know Magay very well. That is why I don't want to speak to this issue. I know him. I know his brother. His brother is my friend. His brother is one of the representatives in Bapaloo County. And I believe the honorable man is smart. Maggie is a good guy. He helped people a lot. He's an open-hearted guy. But with this thing, this particular situation here right now is a sticky issue because the LCC is calling you. All you needed to do, carry your lawyer with you and just go and speak to the issue and come back. But the way you make it look like now, you make it like I was listening to somebody, they said that Maggie was not the only person they called. There were even, I think the minister, there were some other people that were called from Joseph Boca government to that particular place to go and answer questions. So he was called to answer questions and he making it to look like as if to say the government have already indicted him and accused him of something. So I think I don't see the rationale in it to make a whole show or and carrying all those boys in front of the gate to go make noise. It don't make sense. In my opinion, I don't think why he did that. I don't know, but
it don't make sense. Mr. Bacon, Liberian, today's politics in Liberia is being it's sort of kind of crowd-based thing. Like our guy here to focus on crowd to see what other crowd can give him the required result. And we have seen that from time to time, politicians, they use financial violence to bring in people, just how they get voters to places. It's part of that is to show their strength, to solidify their political will. But the key question here is what next? Will the investigators, after whatever thing, whether it was investigations, clarifications, explanations, whatever provided, will they come back to tell the Liberian people, this is what we found after having a conversation? Would that do that? Would they do that? Is that typical on the part of investigators in such a kind of high-profile case?
Well, yes and no. Yeah, well, I would say that from investigation perspective. First, he went with a lawyer, and first of all, his lawyer will not even speak because he had not been charged yet. So when he get there, he can sit down, we'll do all the investigation, do all the interrogation, whatever we want to do. Instead, when you are charged, then your lawyer will say, now you cannot speak. Well, within that time when they invite you, they will ask him questions. These are the documents we have before us, and this. He have to answer the question. A lawyer cannot interject.
You mentioned something key, not to interrupt you. So are you saying, like the way he was called in today, was he or the lawyer who's
accomplishing? The lawyer can listen, but he's not part of the investigation, so he cannot answer any question. Or he cannot tell. He say my client cannot answer that question because he has not been charged. When you are charged, then you can tell your client, say he cannot talk to you on this ground. But at this time, there's no crime have been committed, so they can ask him question. He answered. Except whereby he had been charged and he said, I cannot speak to you again. That's what it is. That's very
interesting.
Oh yeah. So a policeman call you right now to the place, except whereby say you are charged. Then he say, you know what, I cannot talk to you anymore, or I can't talk to you. Or you got two ways to do it. If they call him right now and they say there's a charge against you.
The policeman call me right now, I can still say I don't want to talk to you. I did it just defeated. They call me for something else. I don't want to talk to them.
You don't want to talk to them, say fine. He can say, okay, you don't want to talk to me, but this is what I
have to talk to them. So let me not charge. I don't have to if I don't want to.
So quickly here, like in a case here, and I'm just in for discussion purposes, the way he was called in today. And we don't know the kind of nature of questions. Those questions may have different implications that could be held against you in a court of competent jurisdiction. So if he comes out and certain questions, if you were asked first question, second questions, and third question comes in that has some sort of technical connotation, does he have the right to say, well, I'm not answering this question?
Well, yes, he can say, I don't want to answer it. And they say, okay, we'll move for another question. And if you say you don't want to answer it, say, okay, fine, that's your liberty, you want to call, that's it. Or if the STCG is necessary, they will refer based upon the investigation and say, okay, the witness is not cooperating, he's a hostile witness, and therefore will recommend for prosecution, or we don't find no evidence, so he got moved.
So, okay.
CEO, Can I just interject a little bit? I had a hearing like that before,
Where?
in my state here, where I had to go for a hearing, and I carried my lawyer, and when we got there, my lawyer, I didn't talk. My lawyer told the people he want to know why I was called in this hearing.
That's what I'm saying.
And they explained to him, and after the explanation, my lawyer said the time you gave this man to appear here is short, so we cannot go further into any other question. And they granted it. I left and I went back to work.
All the Tabata, your Democrat, why you enter and say you want to talk? And you, man, you want to talk
No, but that is the American democracy.
Plead the fifth.
You see now what Mr. Barker is talking about? Mr. Barker is talking about the Liberian democracy.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, let me conclude.
And I agree with him.
Let me conclude on something. He said something that is very interesting. He said the U.S. Embassy, Mr. Flamboyant, getting the permission for U.S. security or personnel, whoever to carry a firearm in our country. That is, I don't know how it works. Whether that firearm will only be kept within the embassy or outside the embassy. So I really didn't know how it's going to work.
Oh, okay. I read an article yesterday. It's in the newspaper. Didn't graphic and news down.
Let's keep to the conversation.
Right. We'll come back again the detail.
I can make a point. Let me go to Sese to get his take, and then we will start with your point. Is that what you wanted to talk on?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. If you end, then let me go to Sese to just speak. Sese, look, would there be any outcome, be it good, bad, or for clarity for the public to know? We always see this sort of thing, crazy thing popping up. I don't know what's about the yellow machine now. We're not hearing anything about it. This other machine, that other machine. Yeah. This other person being indicted, people declare, not declare, they're not published, all of that. Things happening over and over. I see that as a big distraction. Will we know, or is this the same sort of political plot tactics by politicians to keep us on edge and be having this sort of conversation? Would there be any other thing moving forward, or at the end of this whole Mangi story, we're going to LACC?
I think that question should be coming from our listening audience to us, who are the talking heads and who are in the media. Because for a democracy to be fledgling and strong, the media has to be strong. So we need to keep digging behind it. It is supposed to be on us, to keep asking the question: what happened to the yellow machines? What happened to all of the indictment?
Hey, nobody.
Well, you gotta keep asking. Right now, it's not in the news, and as a matter of fact, we all made, I think, newsworthy where it was not supposed to be. But it should still be a question people should be asking. When we stop asking, people in authority, when they make mistakes, they pray for people to forget about it. That is why in this 24-hour news cycle, you try to do smokes and mirrors. You're a magician. Now you see it, now you don't see it. You tell it one, you win, tell it one, you lose. Now why we play with the popular Liberian people? It is the press and a strong civil society that is supposed to make sure that we are pushing our government to give us finality. Don't just start everything halfway. Say now, Joe, we are almost made our whole country to go on the ground. No, they're breaking ground everywhere. They're digging hole. You can't play nothing, right? And it's yeah, I still waiting for Body Allen. I thought Breakable said about
that's a lot in that place there. Real quick.
You're still searching for Breakable in this whole thing here. Wow.
But on a serious note, it is upon us. It is upon the media. It is upon, and here is where I come back to the bigger question about what Cotto talked about with people blocking the gates and everything. Mr. Mali, if you remember, one time we were talking about the LU situation here, UL and the protest and why they were stopping certain people going to LU. Yeah. And I said we need to be teaching protest, civil disagreement as a course, as an introductory course. And right now, looking at what's happening, it shouldn't even be at LU. It should be like at the elementary level where we are teaching civics and we are teaching what it means to have free speech and all of the responsibilities and the limitations that come with it. You have a right to protest, granted, but you also do not have the right to to obstruct the travels of other people or to obstruct the functioning of government sectors. We don't realize that. What we know and what our younger children see in elementary is what happens with at the LU and at the University of Liberia, where everything has been militarized. People are used to shutting down streets, burning tires, shutting down places. It's this confrontational speech. Instead of me disagreeing with you intellectually, which LU is the beacon of intellectualism, but I have to disagree with you physically, right? I have to intimidate you physically. I guess that's how you show your intellectual prowess. And that is really sad. So for me, it comes back to the Somali piece about democracy. The reason we have the Soniwen type of democracy is because we're not teaching it in civics. We're not teaching the responsibility, the roles and responsibilities and benefits of citizenships to our children. So therefore, they're learning in the street. We're not teaching in the schools, so they're learning in the street. So, Koto struck a point, but I think it ties right back to what Mr. Mali said. Is what are we practicing? Where do people go to learn how to agree and disagree without being violent towards one another? It was within their rights to accompany Natalia McGill. I don't frown on that. But just because something is your right doesn't mean it's the right thing to do sometimes. That's just where I will end.
Okay. Terry, what's the point? I know time is sort of breaking through us here, but I think, what was the talking point?
You talking to me, Mr. So?
Yeah, I said, what was your talking point?
Oh, well, I think I already lost it because already lost in the sea. But somebody was saying something, Rover was saying something there about, pastor being political. It's not a political party. Rover let him give me a hard time. But to be honest with you, Rover, is that
you're falling in his trap.
Pastor is not a political party, but guess what?
Romeo wrote about me. Thank God I took down my winch, so
yeah. He yet to nag. But pastor is not a political party, but you get a council of churches speaking to the issues in the country. So we coming, Ali, we got a right to speak to the issues that are going on in our country. It doesn't mean that we are politicians, all right? But even if we are, that also gave us the right, the democracy that Mr. Martin want to eradicate, gave us the right to become. But however, Mr. So, it's very important to look at. My talking point has to do with this CSA boss guy, the firing of those guys at the MCC. Today, I saw the interview and it broke my heart. Right, the interview of those guys were literally crying. And their wives were there. I don't think that is good for the government. If I were President Boca, I would make sure that those people are reinstated. In as much as Josiah Joker is my man, I like him. But if they did not go with because this guy, there was a guy that was challenging him. He and the MCC boss, this guy said, he challenged them to produce one evidence wherein he was actually insulting the president. And the man said he was from Lofa too. The man said he's from Lofa. The man said from the culture I come from, we don't insult elders. And this guy's family were there. And his son, he was even crying. Not only one person was crying, the other lady was crying. That broke me down completely. So if these guys were unfairly fired, I recommend that you guys restore these people position. That is my talking point.
If they were unfairly fired.
Yeah.
And the man using Lofa Kante, they say he can't cause people. Jefferson Koji because he the whole thing.
But Jefferson Koji not from Lofa, man. Jefferson Koji is not a typical Lofian.
Because the man time I make him speak English, he can speak saying I'm Lofa. Okay.
That is a very. I think
Jefferson from Lofa, but he can act someone away. I don't like his behavior.
let me ask Terry. You strike a very good point, and I'll be compelled to bring in Jerry back on. I yet to know all of the details. Sometimes these things they come in pieces and in little bit here and there. But if it is on it based on insult, what I do not support insult, but I don't know what their handbook says with the Montreal City Corporations or whatever to let people go. So then the next question would be when that becomes a law, that when you insult a sitting president in the country, because the past 6 years, we've seen all that been coming in, people, including government officials, they speak, they say it any kind of way in different forms, in different shape. Mr. Bacon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the reason I'm bringing you is not to put you in the spotlight. You support this government, and we want people who support the government to be the one to help the government in the process of if its government is doing well, if there's some sort of ill going on, we all must speak to it here. Have you managed to obtain more information relative to those people that were fired?
No, but I listened to Terry said I listened to the press conference today, and I was able to do a research on the firing of the people, and it's the CS, what do you call it, CSA, the CSA, yeah. And there's a handbook, chapter 9, chapter 12, and section something. He quoted it that your conduct at work and outside of your work, you are not allowed to say certain prerogative or some profanity or something. That's why he said I read it, the handbook something. Why you are quoting them to dismiss it. But my question was, and it's like Terry said, there was a gentleman who said, let them bring any article, any publication that if I ever insulted the president or I ever insulted anybody in high authority. But these are the things we're going to face in our country. And we have to deal with it on a delicate business because issues like this here, there's certain way we can discipline the individual. If there's such a thing as the allegation is right or it is wrong, but we have to deal with it on a professional level as a professional individual. We got three stages. Verbal warning. First, you got, verbal warning, written warning. You go to suspension or something from suspension. No verbal warning, no written. You can go straight to a dismissal based upon the magnitude of the case. So, but I read the article he was using or the MCC was using to dismiss it. So probably they know the handbook and they're not supposed to say, but the guy is challenging the authority and say, bring some evidence. So I here to see the evidence from the government side to say this is what it is.
CEO, can I push back on this topic?
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to remind Mr. Bacon and Mr. Collin here that there's a clear evidence that we don't have the type of democracy is needed for us to stand on a pedestal. Democracy doesn't enforce tradition, sympathy, tears, from faith, culture. It enforces rule of law and strengthen human rights and institution. And you take your case to the court and let the court decide and tell the managing director or whosoever it is to bring your law and law read it. So if you're telling me the woman and the children were crying and they are tears, democracy don't have time for these things. No.
Dr. Mali, say you became doctor, you are elevated in discussion. We need to.
I think sister will agree with me. You see, when you talk about democracy compromising the TS and the lay child there under the arm, then you agree with me now. That is the Liberian democracy that's supposed to take precedent right there. But the real democracy, it doesn't see these things. In fact, the more you cry, the police will come put hanger on your hand and show you the way to the court. You and your child. That is the democracy I'm talking about. We haven't reached that level yet. Now you're talking about the woman is crying. She can cry as much, blood can even come up, but we are enforcing democracy. So we're not enforcing culture, tradition, or sympathy. She could even roll on our place there, or child take out the clothes. We will call the authority and they go to the court and plead their case. Thank you.
Well, hear what I was saying.
Mr. So, you're
I'm not
bitter.
saying.
Let me come in. Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Dr. Male, you know what? Keep the cash out. What you get from me? I'm coming send it right back to you. Look, the governing circular that was released by the civil service cites laws, provisions in our governance that they are using. Just read it.
Yep.
Just read it. It's simple. The media just go say we fire people. And for Mr. Bacon to say that this was harsh, the way it's laid out.
I didn't say it was harsh.
They said they should have at least suspended. I mean, they should have.
I said there's a procedure. How you
know the procedure not follow? How you know? The procedure as laid out, the man is talking about violating Chapter 4, Section 2.1, Section 2.2 of the state.
That's what I said. I called that in. That's
also
what I said.
talk about violating Chapter 9, Section 2 of the Code of Conduct.
Yeah. But he didn't state his action. He didn't state the law that provides the action he took.
Again, the man is telling you that those entities can enforce that. Now, those entities can fire based on that. And now the problem here that we are forgetting is that these people have access to the courts. If the civil service have read the provision wrongly, if they have erred in the way they deliver, then you go to court.
Yes.
I agree with you on
Then
that
you go
one.
to court. Why are they calling all their press conference saying that wasting people time today?
I know.
Go to court. The CDC, after they fall back to draw back to lay back, when they came back with the Reverend Dr. Musician Bakube, he said that they were going to resist. So they wanted me to get lawyers that they can get go to court. Why they say I put the people outside today and go put them in front of them, Oma crying for nothing. I hold to get out of food to eat after she got through crying. For me, in a democracy, we enforce the law. It is the same problem I put the CDC in the problem to the West Judge. We are said we are all related, so you are not going to go and prosecute people for stealing, but you could go prosecute Barney Samukai because you didn't want Samukai to take a seat. You could go prosecute Eddie Johnson, Shaw, and put him in jail and steal all your money and then release it, but we still related. This is not about relationship. This is not about somebody crying. If that young man has been wrongly terminated, he goes to court and he wins his case and he get back pay. We should stop this sympathy thing.
Yeah.
We should stop it. The last time I said to some people, I said, we're giving God too much hard time. We're the only people that got too many warehouses in heaven. Hold them with this something with God. God tell keep your one thing in now. Yeah, let's start holding our own thing on earth. Hold them, leave it with God, leave it with God, leave it with God. Oh man, say a live finish. He keeping no more wealth for the brain pool. This is just that.
And say,
Mr. So, can I give a rebuttal here?
Mr. So, the woman that carried the child, that woman should be charged for child abuse.
Read the law and go to court. Every time I keep saying it here. If the president has read the Constitution wrong, if the executive has interpreted the Constitution wrong, go to court.
Okay.
Go to court.
Dr. Joe, before I go to you say what? There's a child abuse?
I think the man or the woman that carried that child on that spot, that child could have been in school, that's child abuse. And that's a different case by itself. And they need to drag them to court.
Wow. You know, Liberia needs.
Anyway, I got to run. Okay, I got 5 more minutes. I know what I mean.
Yeah, radical change. We are about to go.
I want to understand a rebuttal. Real quick. So,
thank you.
First of all, we must understand here that those boys said there's an accusation. The letter state that the letter brought a stigma on them in the community. That there's an accusation in the letter that that made them to be like they are wanted in the community. So it was not only on they were not even arguing only on.
They show you the letter for you to read it for yourself to interpret it.
No, they didn't show me the letter, but they gave me their position.
Their understanding of it. Okay.
Just to see where your government didn't show where the people.
The government doesn't have to. That's the point. The government does not have to.
No, they have to because they are the one that
I can find
because I can find they're the one who came on public radio and told the Liberian people, say these people insulted the president. We're all proof.
Terry, that's what they
and these people said, and these people said no, that was not the case. So it is the government that is accusing those people. So they are the one that's supposed to produce proof to the public.
When they go to court, they're trying to produce the proof. Now when I fire you, I don't have to
I agree. The court area is not bad. The court is not bad. But what I'm saying here, What I'm saying here is that they are right to come to the public, to come to the press, to express their grievances.
But you can't get anything out of that. You go to the court.
No, they are right to meet with the press and express their grievances.
Colin, you could be charged for taking the law into your own hands.
But
what law is taking their hands? By coming to the press?
Dr. Male.
Going on our premise alone, a violation, you can be arrested.
What you call violation? The press key to the people to get a view. Then you say going over there.
Okay,
what are you talking?
No. You're supposed to address the press to temporal justice.
No, you don't have to. I can address the press anywhere.
The second part
I can call the press to my house.
Let me clarify.
The second part of this. The second part of this.
Just stop thinking on him, man.
The second part of this
is taking the law into your own hands.
Dr. Male.
How you took the law in your hand? You.
I said it's provocative.
The second part of this thing. The second part of it, that young man talk about how they've been made to look like they're terrorists. Then he link it to what human laid, that what the Internal Affairs Minister did during the election time. So all that one was written in the letter they gave them about what human laid did during the election time. The man, he went all around the place talking about in FOIA, the current minister called his thoughts for them to fight him and beat him. So all that was in the letter that they gave to them. Let them release the letter, let's read it. And the second thing is you don't get anything out of going to we get it, you want public settlement. Now the CDC must provide money, they must provide the lawyers that guide it for you're not paying them young blood university, then I go defend it in the court.
No, that's not a good approach, my sister. I don't agree with you on that point.
That is democracy. No,
that's not democracy.
But hey, that's a rule of law.
Hello?
That's the rule of law.
No, I'm not against you going to court, but the aspect of you saying that, because the man cited instances, the man got right because the man is afraid for his life. The man said that he had been accused of abusing the president. So as a result, there's a stigma. And the family is traumatized because of that.
If you win a case in court, you get paid.
You can win a case. You can win that kind of case against the president in Liberia court.
Yes.
Can you win that kind of case?
Yes, because CDC appointed more people to the Supreme Court. More people. Joseph Baga only get one person. So let me go there and go test the people they appointed.
So Colin, you want for the people to take the law into their hands?
Dr. Jones, excuse me. I think we're being very, very unfair to the audience.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, Mr. So.
It's sort of cross-talking. We're not like yeah. You see, this is what makes it so difficult, your politician, then to protect your own alligator. You see, Dr. Jones and myself here, very, very short, and we say it without
Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones,
Dr. Jones point. Dr. Jones, he said he will reopen Bella Yala anyway, so let's
right.
You're gonna reopen Bella Yala.
People who supposed to be there, they will be there. We got to for passage, but
so you want Mr. Bago to talk?
No, we are already out of time, sir, but let's back on. I mean, why you said before, it is true. We can't run governments or institutions, organizations out of sympathy, because other than that, then the happy will be, because every child, every mother that bring their child, eat 2, 4, 5 days, get no job, then you get it, then you put the person on salary. Because then one day you're not just gonna give them that food. The one who would bring the children and their legs all hanging and say they won't be crying. That's neglect and abuse and everything. They themselves should face the full weight of the law. Jerry Bacon, let's hear you.
No, this is what I said. I want to repeat myself. I said, no, I'm talking about my brother or going. What did he say? Oh, no. What I said was there's a 3 category go, step 1, step 2. But based upon the magnitude, you can go even from 0 straight to the tier 1, which is you get rid of them. You want to fire. The government had the right to hire you. Your employees had the right to hire you, and to hire you, they get a right to fire you. If you think that you are fired on just cause, you go to court. I mean, that's what I said. That's what I am leading to. No, I'm not saying, because I listened to the press conference today, and I was like, okay, these are issues that they need to be addressed in the court. If you did your MCC fire you wrongly, you go to court. That's my point I'm making. But anyway, let me close up because I know I can leave.
Yeah, before you go, don't come wrong here. What else I say here? Your president is here. What is he here for?
He came to the 125th Black how do you call it? Black Business anniversary. That's what he's here for in Atlanta, Georgia.
Business.
The last time he came, where he took back. Now he come here again.
Are you asking a question or are you making statement?
I'm asking you.
Well,
he
there's
came
a
to
follow-up.
the last time and he didn't take anything back. So what is he coming to take back again?
So I want a democracy that begging democracy. Every time a president comes, you be like a leader.
Thank you.
Who are the business people he came with?
Thank you.
The private delegate.
I don't know the delegate. They didn't give me the tenor to say he came. I know for one part the Minister of Foreign Affairs came along with him. So that's how far I can say.
The Minister of Commerce here, you know?
I said I don't know. I said I can speak. The Minister of Foreign Affairs is here. That's what I just told you.
Why you know the Minister of Foreign Affairs here and you don't know the other minister?
The other delegates.
Because the other delegate, I've not spoken to them. That's the person I talked to and said, this is here. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. This is a very difficult thing on the part of you guys who talk for these people. Now, I thought you guys would have diverted this conversation to the press with the presence of the president here, but I allow you and you just flow with it. This is where the disconnect, because you should be able to tell people about your leader. CDC did that. When the president comes, for them to
you let CDC or they want to talk for they can do that.
I'm not authorized to speak on that, but I know for one fact.
Yeah, don't do that to people here.
CDC. I'm not authorized, but one person I can talk about, say, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I don't know the other entourage.
Who did that? When George Weah comes here, for them to focus on his mission and say and find all of the good things for them to say, they don't do it. Then they go off track. Anyway, go ahead. We shall find out. I want to know all the business people that came, because at the end of the day, those are the people that
you're trying to divert this instead of me talking about Joseph Boakai and who you're going to see now. The thing is public record is they've been posted the conference he came to, and you know, sometimes, and that they show, but sometimes I really get a headache and I can miss my show. I was somewhere, somebody went and copied. They try to make it look like Joseph Boakai lie, because another person posted that the quote was, "I am a keynote speaker at this event." The person posted that they run around, Joseph Boakai lie. How many keynote speakers they get? The person if posting there, so I just went there and say, "Hey, but the person say I am a, not the." To say I am a something means it's possible that many other things. I am a director in Minneapolis. To say I am the director of this means there's no other director. And at symposiums that goes on sometimes for multiple days, you get multiple keynotes because you get multiple focuses.
Sometimes different timing.
The headache from our people sometimes it can be, and these are people with master's degree here in America.
But my man, you are educator, so you teaching in grammar 401. So teach so
I mean, people speak the way how they understand it, how they speak it.
Educate your brothers, my man.
Mr. Backons, do you think there will be some interaction with the Liberian community anywhere, hopefully after the president's trip, or any information you think?
All right, I'll be able to give you all the information tomorrow. I'll give you all the turnover tomorrow.
All right, there you go. All right. Because we want to be part of, we want to engage. We want to have a conversation with our president. You shouldn't just be.
I will give you all
Mr. Background, are you an undercover detail?
I say I will give you all the information tomorrow. The one that will be available to me, I'll make it available.
I say you are undercover detail to the president. That's all. I just wanted to know.
So before
I will give you.
Let me talk my talking points so you can all closer behind Joseph Boakai building now before the doctor leave. Dr. Mali, my talking point is about WAEC. The WASP results are out.
Oh, really?
It shows, people have been talking about it in packets because we're selling moments, so we can talk about the group part or any other part, just like our democracy. 94% passing rate. They don't tell you, where the kids struggle. But when you dig into the data, our kids are struggling with math. They're struggling with chemistry, with biology, and physics and English. Right? We don't need Sanzaka to tell us that. My one problem I have now is that the data came out. WIAC has released the data. It's out right now. What is going to be the focus? What is our education? What's going to be our education focus in this arrest agenda based on the data we got from now? I understand that data is just one data set. We have so many other things we can look up: passing rate in schools, the kids are not taking the WIAC and other pieces. But looking at over 600 students failing all subjects in WIAC is not acceptable. So, what is going to be the focus? How much money government is going to put into making sure that we have a focus, and we're going to lean this way to ensure that 600 plus student failing is not acceptable? What are we going to do about that? So I think for me, that is my talking point, and I hope in the coming days that the people who are in education, who are in charge of making this decision, will try to carry the Liberian people along. Look, 94% will pass yet. The rate is going up since Ebola is going really up, is going high. Okay, but we still see that a lot of our students are failing in math and English. Why is that? Are we not being critical enough in the way we deliver the instruction, or is our curriculum not critical enough? Do we need to stick in WIAC or get out of WIAC and get a national exam? If we are sticking in, where are we going to put money? Where do we see the need? Is it going to be teacher training? Is it going to be student support? Is it going to be community involvement? Where do we see the gap that we can put government money to ensure that we cut down the 600 plus students that are failing? Bravo to the Liberian students that passed. 90+% is great. Bravo to George Weah government and this new government. That is a great thing. President Weah, you did a good job. Whatever it was that led to that, you give credit to who is in charge. Whether they did nothing, it is still their thing. But I think that governments should stop this thing of just publishing records and data and walking away and not telling us anything that we need to do or that they are going to do to carry us along to change the trajectory.
Okay. But for an inquiry, Mr. So, is the data, is it not on the website as regarding the strategy, the program that they have towards gearing? Because I believe most of the kids too that are failing, it could be the economic problem, it could be economical and whatsoever. So is there any data or any strategy that they have that, to put into place to improve the process on their website?
No, we haven't seen that. That's what I'm saying, right? Because you're right, Terry, and that's what I'm saying. Because this might be, if you just look at it across the country, are we having these massive failures in the hinterland, the places that are far away? Are we having these massive failures maybe in the ghettos where there's poverty? Then we can start looking at how does government get involved, right? But up to date, they have not parsed that data. And I'm hoping that they're looking into that to come up with that, because I'm just saying this not as a fault, but as sounding a warning bell that we can't do business as usual. Successive governments in the past will just release data and that's the end, right? That's the end. We don't bring the country along. We don't bring the community along to say, here's what we learned from what the data to us. Here is how we're going to focus to try to make sure we make our data better.
So, Sese, are you saying, from why you're saying nothing is being quantified to know where the problem, they just give holistic?
Well, some of the things, again, like I said, I'm making sure that I am first sounding a warning, because the last record just got released recently. WIAC themselves were holding on to a few. I think there was some irregularities. And again, that's one thing we got to work on. The irregularities were just so much. They were holding on some, and they just quite recently released all of their student data. So I think I hope the ministry is looking really deeper into that. But I also hope like not even depending on central government in Monrovia. My concern is around the various school districts, right? Like MCSS or like the Lofa County school, the county education officers for the various counties. Do you have your data? Are you looking into that from your various counties and seeing where do you have a prevalence of failure, and how do you ascertain what is the root cause of that failure, so that you communicate with central government in Monrovia and say, the way I see it in Bon County, the way I see it in Grand Gila, the way I see it in Lima County, here are the issues we're having, and here are possible solutions to central government. Other than that, central government is going to come down to you with a solution that doesn't fit your problem.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but to just add to what Sissy is saying, in a nutshell, I think wired, quote unquote, the educational system has been politicized. Politicized in the sense that we had wired before. There were so many problems that went on. Okay. I did not see, I stand to be corrected, an educational authority coming to find out why these students are feeling like this. How can we trace the problem? Is the problem with the teachers? Is the problem with the school? They do not have textbooks? What is the problem? Is the problem with the curriculum? Why is putting in place? So I think I agree with Sissy. It's like, where is that critical mind when it comes to the educational authorities who are on taxpayer payroll in our country? So the whole thing is like business as usual now. Or they fail, yeah, but they failed the last time, so they fail today again, no problem. I think we need to go beyond that now to find out why this thing continues to happen. Parents got to get involved. Even the student, they got to get involved. But the question now is, do they have the passion to do these things? That's the whole thing. And if the authority that heading education in Liberia, it is not taking the lead to look into this thing that is bringing some bad reflection to my office as an educational minister. Every time there's a massive failure, let me find out what is into this thing. It's a problem. I had never seen a press conference or wire before. People just go in the newspaper and complain, that's it. You see? So just what is happening now is that people will continue to complain again about the identical one. A few people will just die down as business as usual, and we wait for wire to come around again. You see? So where are the authorities to address these things? There's a problem with wire. Yes. Serious.
Okay, guys, we're going to leave here this event. Thank you so much, Sissy Goyo, Terry Collins, Dr. Jones, Octavius Mali. Octavius.
That's a Lomani. That's a Lofakantini.
Octavius?
Octavius is a Lofakantini. Don't say it too much.
Octavius is a company.
Oh, man, no, Lofakantini. Is it Terry coming home? You the last time you made me quite funny me today.
No, Terry tried to create a monkey ranch here again. He tried to put me into a monkey
Terry quite funny me.
How did Octavius thing came about, Dr. Jones?
Like, you know what quality is I care about.
I mean, it's my parents that gave me this thing. It's like I've been researching to find out about this previous thing.
Or they just give it you.
Says they won't help you, but he can't make it. He can't make it.
You can see that all in my eye, but I'm making
They love in your eye, but he can't make it.
All right. Okay.
Man, I missed you guys. It's been a long time, man. I've been too busy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make time.
Terry, you gotta get your stuff. You gotta get your things ready. Sissy already gone with EFBC.
I didn't be on EFBC for the whole last week and this week.
Yeah, he have not been there. I've been checking for them. He and Labor, they've been in cahoot. They've been discussing with the paper on the cover. They say carrying Labor to Lofa. Anything can happen. We don't know.
You know, this is my busiest time of the year because school's about to start. We're doing teacher workshop and stuff, so that's why. But yeah, no, I'll try to be back on the network soon.
The guy and Eugene, I just intercepted some of the somebody sent me
some of our text messages. And you posted the man kissing your girlfriend. You post my own wife myself. I'm gonna post it too.
I don't even know who sent out who went.
You don't want to share that thing. See that my share.
No. It was sent to me, so I just sent it into the chat room. Yes.
So you dropped the bomb. Then you say you acting like
no. I said
you dropped the bomb.
No, I said somebody sent it to me.
They sent it to
okay.
I just put it in the chat room.
Then he said he will not see it alone, he will not suffer alone, he will let everybody suffer with you. So you drop it in the chat room.
When I put it in the chat room, I didn't comment. I left.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
Good night. All right, guys.
Yeah, good.
Okay, all right, guys. Dr. Jones, thank you. So your delivery is in transition, relocating, so that's one of the reasons. Folks, we want to thank you so much. Let's see what the onliners says, what they are talking about here. Man, today I just love the show, Dr. Jones. Okay, as George, thank you so much. Let's see here. Breakable, I do not know why you aren't opened the line. Okay, then there's a reason that the phone line is not open. You know, usually the phone line is open. So if it is not open, then something might be the cause. And the only reason is I just came on air, forgot, left it in the car, couldn't go back to go get it downstairs. Sissy, talk about boycott and Gracebeard's daughters. They are on executive mansion payroll. Why? They are now working for the country and forget about we are. Yeah, that's a valid point. Hopefully, we're going to do that. Clarence, like I said, I kind of forgot the phone completely this evening. I was on air and there was no way that I could turn back. Okay, Fatuman VM Sherry, Breakable Power, Democrat Convention is on. Is on now. Okay, let's see what my love you say. The church is to educate people spiritually, both what is right and wrong, to the government of Liberia, the government as a whole. Okay, Prosper Terry. Routine medical check. I'm not sure who he's making reference to. Okay, he comes by. GMB is here for his routine medical checkup. That I don't know about. I didn't see any official statement on that. That is why these few days I do not listen to the show, because you guys cannot be discussing issues against seditions and the Liberian people, and nobody can counter that. And it is the same we cannot call in. You see, this is that's just been unfair. You call here every day, every time we have a program. If you don't call today, that's not the end of the world. So don't just say that. Stephen Wilson, the president was invited as a keynote speaker. Okay. And I see here Cole Happily. He already had a meeting with the leadership of Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, I am aware. Yes, I've talked to folks there. Atlanta, Georgia is just minute of the representations of the Liberian community. That's our argument. Liberian in Georgia, they don't represent my interest. They don't represent the interest of every Liberian here. It happens, that's what the venue is. But is there any other avenue besides Atlanta, Georgia? That was the basis of my questions. And then my man George says, CEO, now it is an opportunity for you to take your crew along with you to meet the president rather than to go to Rhode Island and Philadelphia. How sure are you that we have not reached out? You know, these things for Liberian politicians, they have their own bureaucracy and people that work with them, because they are very careful in getting things done. But at the rightful timing, the conversation is ongoing. If it is not happening now, at some point in time, I'm sure I'm confident that it will happen, to where we'll be able to have access to the president. Meeting the president or coverage, you don't just bump in. You have to go through protocol. They have to give you the pass. They have to give you the go ahead. It's not like here. Even here, you have to be accredited to the process. You can't just get and take your camera. Oh, I'm so person. No, it doesn't work that way. So we are having these conversations, and ultimately we are talking with the rightful people who will help, because it has to be coordinated. If we want to sit with the president, it has to be planned. It can't just be like any other things that we do here, because his team, his communication team, the group they're going to meet, they got to have a conversation plan, know what you're going to be saying, what's going to happen, and all of that. So it's not as people, it's not like an ordinary Liberian community function. When the sitting president of a country is somewhere, there's a security details and all of that. Things has to be verified. So it's not unless somebody who is an insider of the party is doing those things, then that's a different thing because they know you. But if they do not know you, if you are not one of them, you can be an institution. They will deal with you as an institutions, and there will be a details work on that in order for you to be accredited. And we are doing all of that. If it doesn't happen now, our understanding, the president is still going to be here, and hopefully it will happen. But trust me, once they give us go away, even it can be Alaska, we will go there. Because I want to have the opportunity to ask for myself and to see things, to hear it for myself. Okay, folks, we want to thank you so much for your time this evening. I believe, again, our sincere apologies for not giving prior notice for the 2-3 days that were off. We just got caught up into other things too. That was the situation. The Liberal will be back here. For those of you who are fan of the Liberal, I try to be nice to him. He will be back. The Liberal making the transitions, and as soon that is completed, I'm quite sure in the coming week, hopefully he and I will be in Philadelphia. We will be attending our local district county convention. Hopefully we'll meet. We'll be sitting on the other side. We'll be sitting on the other side. I do not want to be liberalized. Clarence Davis and folks saying I don't want to bother with them. But once he settled down, yeah, he will be here. And I think we always enjoy your conversations, your meaningful interactions, your views, your points, well taken. It's a learning process. We'll go back. I personally go back to read every comment, respond to what I can respond to. We don't take anything personal here. In as much we talk about other people, people must also have their views, their opinions about us. We all just need to exercise tolerance. Maximum tolerance is what needed in our country, and it is, for the most part, is lacking from all sectors of our society. It's lacking. A little thing sort of trigger us, and we go off the rail. And I don't think that's how it's supposed to be, especially if you want to talk about your country. It is your country. It is my country. The way I would say it, it might not go in that direction. And you must have an opposing view, which is okay. But we must also have the tolerance to accommodate that and maybe have a dialogue and conversation whereby we can arrive at a point. Until all of us can exhibit that maximum tolerance, the talking about a country is a convoluted one. It's a very difficult one, a confused one. You see it differently. I see it differently. But bottom line, we must agree at the end of the day for the good of the country. And this is one of the cardinal reasons for which we are having this national conversation. Not to bash anybody, not to demonize anybody, but to ask all of the questions needed so that our country can be a better country. Guess what? Because when the country is doing good, you too, you're going to be doing good. Trust me, in the next 2 days, and people were calling for July 26th, they will call for Flag Day. Somebody called me, I just told them, said, well, you don't need to host the Flag Day. Armed Forces of Liberia will be hosting the flag at the Barclay Training Center, so you don't need Flag Day. You don't need Flag Day. Okay, folks, thank you so much. Madam Frederick, it's good to have you. It's better late than never. My apologies. We did not give you guys prior notice of the few days we're going to be going bad communication, bad behavior. We pay fine for that. But it was the fault of the laborer. For every time he tries to fire me, so I sent a letter of resignation. So now he's backing me. But I will be on. Follow me. And like I said, we also, it's not just on the government. There are a lot of success stories ongoing here. It can be honoring, it can be graduations, it can be birthdays, it can be family reunion. We believe the media is a key component of our society buildings, and people should be able to tell their success story. So guess what? We'll be in a batch this weekend. I will be in New York City, Staten Island, where one of our followers, and just reached out and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Can you come over? I want to tell my story. So I'm like, okay, I agree. I will take the day off because we value what you do here. So join me Sunday evening about this time. We'll be in the New York, Staten Island specifically, where Minister Daniels will be having his 40th batch, which is great. And we will be there to bring you live happenings. And then Donald Trump will lead a campaign to be attending his batch. All right, folks, thank you so much. Have a pleasant evening. So we do appreciate your time. And again, our apologies for not giving you a prior notice of being off air for a couple of days. That shouldn't have happened. We should have given you a notice. But I just posted our TikTok handles. There are other things we're working on. As soon as that comes to reality, we'll let you know so many ways that you can also follow or keep rolling your comments, your tweets as to how we can enhance what we're falling short, what we need to do, how we can get improved. Again, if you want to be a contributor to this network, the only thing we're not paying these guys, we don't have the money at which we had. They are volunteering. They are giving back to the society, giving back to the community. It doesn't matter which institutions you belong to. You can come, so let us know. It just comes with commitment. Commitment in terms of showing up here. There's nothing in stone that you got to be here all of the time that we are here. But, it's all part of it. Until then, we say thank you so much for being here. Without you, we can't do what we can do. It is because of you. This is why we are here. And so sometimes we are not here, we feel very, very bad. But it is why it is. Thank you so much, guys. And we will see you. The Liberal is the Liberal. The usually Thursday, I'm not on. Thursday is one of my craziest days. I don't even do anything. So I'm not sure, but if the Liberal comes on tomorrow, you will definitely see me. But I just want you to let you know, count me out. Friday, I'm going to be here. Saturday morning, take the road to New York City. We're going to have some weekend fun. Until then, stay blessed. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your time, your interactions, your comments, your tweets. Always take us along the way. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Prepare to the maniera, I'm not back with the ground.
Hello everyone, my name is Poye, aka Diamond. I want to share a little bit about someone incredibly special to me, my mother, Rose Johnson. My mother is the heart and soul of our family. Her love and strength and unwavering support has shaped my siblings and I into the women we are today. She has taught us the value of kindness, resilience, and compassion. On October 26th, we will be gathering and honoring and celebrating our mother's incredible journey and all the lives she has touched. We would be delighted if you can join us on this special occasion, which will be hosted at the Botany Club in Cranston, Rhode Island. Your presence means the world to us. Bye-bye. Love you.